The youth cream is still working its miracle. And our mascara is as smudge-proof as ever.
Good heavens!
Thank you so much. Thank you all for coming. I appreciate it greatly. And I hope now that you realize I am not a brutal killer. I am just a woman with a vision.
Hello, Erica.
Oh, is that who I think it is?
Dr. Maria Santos, please. This is Dmitri Merrick.
Dimitri?
Maria, hello.
Hi. Are you calling about Edmund? Because if you are, I'm really busy. I've got a stack of papers to do, and I'm just really not in any mood to discuss my former fiancé. So is that why you're calling?
Well, if you're busy, never mind. It's probably nothing. I shouldn't let a little pain bother me.
Well, how little is it? Are you having any symptoms or fever or swelling?
Well, I was fine this morning, but now it does hurt. And I'm a little dizzy. Should I drive to your office?
No. Just stay right where you are. I'll be there in a little bit.
Maria, thank you.
Hello, Phoebe.
Good afternoon, Tad. Where's Dixie?
Well, there was a general consensus that Dixie ought to adopt a low profile. And how are you today?
Well, considering that my beloved niece has just had her heart torn out and handed to her on a silver platter with your initials engraved on it, how do you think I am?
Brooke? I just want to say one thing in front of witnesses. You're not going to get away with this.
Tad, this is difficult enough. Threatening my client is
I'm not
entirely
threatening her.
inappropriate.
I'm just informing her of the facts. I am that baby's father. And nothing you can do or say is going to convince the judge otherwise.
I wouldn't be too sure about that.
All My Children, brought to you by Smooth Texture Metamucil, the natural choice for regularity.
Holy Toledo, what is he doing here?
None of our business, remember? Just leave him alone. Maybe we'll work something out. So now I have to make a phone call. You two ladies go on in.
All right.
Go in now,
Come on. Palmer knows best.
Brooke, there are a few things we need to go over before the hearing starts, but I need to make a quick phone call.
I'll be in a couple of minutes.
Brooke, any confrontation between you and Tad?
I'll be fine.
Keep it cool. I mean it.
Let me guess. Your knight in shining armor to the rescue once again. Well, I gotta say, it makes sense. After all, nobody wants to see me twisting in the wind more than he does.
You don't even know what a noose feels like around your neck, do you? Brooke does.
I can speak for myself.
Oh, come on, Edmund, admit it. You've been dying for a chance like this for God knows how long.
She trusted you. She believed in you, and you cheated on her and left her for Dixie. You might as well have left her for dead. But no acts of mercy for Tad Martin. Now you have to try to rip off her children, too. You don't think you deserve to twist in the wind?
Just for your edification.
Thank you.
I am not trying to rip off our children. But that doesn't mean I'm going to stand here and let you waltz off with them either. Why the hell should I? Jamie's my son. He loves me. And I love him. And I'm going to love this new baby just as much. And for you to stand here in a court of law and lie and say he's the father is nothing short of pathetic.
Oh, how would you know who the father is? You weren't very attentive in that area, remember? You were too busy with Dixie.
You swore to me it was over with him after Willow Lake.
You swore to me that you would be faithful. You lied, so why shouldn't I?
Because you don't lie.
But you do. You're a great liar, aren't you, Ted? Nobody lies like you do. So which is it? Was I lying then? Or am I lying now? It's not much fun, is it, Ted? Not to know.
Peggy said you were in here. Why aren't you laying down?
Maria, I lied to you on the phone. I'm not hurt. I'm not dizzy. I just had to say something to get you over here so we could talk.
Big mistake. Big mistake. You know, patients who cry wolf, I bill double. Please, please don't do this to me again,
Wait,
okay?
please, Maria. I'm sorry. I'm fine now. Edmund's in lousy shape. After you left, he told me he wasn't about to lose the best thing that ever happened to him.
He said that?
He said he'd do anything to keep it.
He meant Brooke.
No, he meant you. Maria, I have no idea what's going on with Brooke. I mean, I don't understand why she'd suddenly claim he's the father of her child, but you can't believe it. You and I both know that's not true.
No, you know what? I thought I knew. I thought I knew everything there was to know about Edmund and Brooke. And then, then surprise, there was this little secret New Year's Eve party that I didn't know about. And then just less than 3 weeks ago, this man who says that I am the best thing that ever happened to him gets down on one knee to another woman and makes a pitch for a future with her. That happened, Dimitri. So now, I don't know. I don't know what to believe.
I don't understand the problem.
You don't understand the problem? Oh, yeah, you know, of course. I guess I am being a little silly about this. I suppose that it really isn't such a big deal that my fiancé went and proposed to another woman while he was still engaged to me. I guess I'm just a little bit old-fashioned.
You're the only woman he loves.
I'm second best.
No, not anymore. You're the one that he wants.
That's not true. I'm the person that he's attracted to because he thinks he's going to get free medical care for the rest of his life. What I really am to him is just is just leftovers. I'm like dog food, practically. And who wants to be dog food? Not me.
You?
I don't care if you have to lock her in a room. Keep her in there.
Fighting for justice is not easy.
All right, folks, if there are any further questions, I'll be happy to field them for you at this time.
Who is the old man?
All right. One at a time, one at a time. The old man in the chair is Richard Fields. The man that viciously raped Erica Kane when she was 14 years old.
Not true. It's not.
Well, are you the daughter?
Yes.
And this man is my father. And he came here today in spite of his serious illness to tell the real story.
We
of what
know
happened.
the real story, Kendall.
He's innocent. Tell them.
Care to answer Mr. Montgomery's accusations, Mr. Fields?
Pure slander. Slander. I never forced myself upon Erica Kane.
You never raped her.
I told you.
Excuse me. Excuse me, Kendall. You wanted something about the
My father is not a rapist.
You were lovers.
She wanted him, but I wasn't wanted, so she called it rape.
We were lovers.
Shut up!
Lovers.
Don't tell my father to shut up. How dare you?
She can't malign my reputation to gain sympathy before a trial. I won't allow it.
I won't allow this father-daughter dog and pony show to go any further without being revealed for what it really is. A sick act of revenge. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, if you'd like to know the real story, I'd be only too happy to tell you. It was 24 years ago, on Erica's birthday, when this man, this so-called friend of her father's, sexually assaulted her.
That is not true.
A young, trusting girl. And what were you at the time? Maybe 54 times her age?
You don't know what happened. You weren't there. He was. Tell them.
I never raped anyone in my life. Never had to.
Child, Fields!
She was a woman. She knew what she wanted and knew exactly how to get it. The truth is, Erica Kane seduced me, and rather expertly, I might add.
Would you expand on that disgusting lie? And you know it. You knew very well how old she was, and you knew that she was well under the age of consent.
She told me she was 18 years old.
You knew how old she was. You can count, can't you, Fields? There were 14 candles on that birthday cake. He should know. He helped her blow them out before he raped her.
She looked 18. I believed what she told me.
You knew exactly how old she was, and what were you at the time? 50? How do you justify having sex with a child?
It was a private affair, and would have remained private if Erica had not called this press conference.
A private affair? You got her pregnant. You forced her to spend the next months in a dark Arizona hotel with her mother, trying to deal with this. And she dealt with it the only way she could, by burying it inside of herself, by never talking to anybody about it, not once, not even her mother. Until the child of that rape, Kendall Hart, showed up in Pine Valley.
Miss Hart, is that true?
It's what they want you to believe, not what happened. Erica invented that story so that her mother would help her to get rid of a baby she didn't want. Abortion was illegal in those days, or she would have gotten rid of me that way. Instead, she gave me to strangers to raise. And she hates me. She hates me because I am proof of the tramp that she was. She called this press conference today because she stabbed her husband. And she thinks she can lie about my father to get away with it and to get sympathy. Well, it won't work. Because my father and I will not let her get away with it.
Edmund went to Brooke that night because the last thing he wants is for you to feel second best. Now, he said he wouldn't do to you what Tad did to Brooke. So to be sure, he went to Brooke so he could break all links with the past and start fresh with you.
No, nice try, Dimitri, but Edmund already admitted to me that he went to Brooke and asked her for a second chance that night.
He had to close all the doors.
No. No, I wish that's what happened, but no. What happened is he had to make sure that Brooke had closed all the doors. There was a big difference.
Yeah, but he got his answer, accepted it. Edmund is ready to move on, Maria, with you.
Too late.
It's never too late. He loves you. All right. He had some loose ties to clear up, okay. But he loves you as much as I know you love him. You can't hide that. It shows. Now, Maria, you finally have the assurance you need to believe that Edmund is fully committed to you. Isn't that what you wanted?
Where is he? Is he here?
After we talked, I heard him drive away. I don't know where he is right now.
But I do.
I've known Brooke since Now, she was a mere slip of the girl. She's never done anything halfway. Now, she would not confess her attraction to another man, to both of you, and then blithely have an affair under your very nose. It just goes against her nature. She'd confess it all or confess nothing.
You are looking at a professional schemer. Listen to him.
If my math is correct, this baby was conceived right about the time that I took off for Canada with Ted.
Well, that was right about the time she decided not to use protection when you guys made love.
It could have happened like that, or maybe while I was away.
No, you were away, but I wasn't. I was right here. I saw Brooke every single day, and when she told me about leaving that diaphragm in the drawer that night, I'm telling you, she was racked with guilt. She was desperate. She was desperately trying to save your marriage, not end it.
Oh, come on, Mama. Brooke could have very easily slept with Edmund a few hours later.
She doesn't have it in her, honey. That baby is yours. And when she heard that judge throw out that prenup agreement, poor Brooke, she just got so mad she said the first mean thing that popped into her head, which happened to be a big fat whopper. We just gotta hope that maybe she's calmed down and come to her senses and she apologizes once the court reconvenes.
Yeah, I think Opal's right, absolutely. But, you know, the judge isn't going to buy that lame story.
She will if Edmund backs her up.
Are you here to back me up, Edmund? Is that why you came?
Aren't you in the least bit curious as to what happened to Marie and me when you left Wildwind? Huh?
I'm sorry. I didn't mean for her to hear that. I didn't know she was in the house. I didn't mean for that to happen.
Okay. What about tomorrow's headlines? Do you think she might read them? Brooke English names Edmund Gray, father of her child. Do you think, how would she feel then?
Look, I was only doing what I had to do.
Oh, come on. You led her to believe that I was having an affair with you.
I know that, Edmund. I know what I did.
No, I don't think you do. You know, time and time again, I asked you to come back to me, and you turned me down flat.
I'm sorry.
Sorry's not good enough, Brooke. And now you come to me and you ask me to lie and pretend that the father of the baby is me, to pretend that child is mine when you have to know how much I wish it were?
Look, I did what I had to do. I swear, all right, I didn't have any other choice.
Oh, come on. They don't steal babies from mothers' arms and give them to idiots like Tad Martin in this country.
Listen to me. His lawyer is a shark. You don't know. And Judge Hale... Edmund, please. Please, for the sake of my children, please.
There'll be another way. I will help you find it, Brooke.
There isn't another way. I already shouted it out in court. I said, you know, that Tad didn't have any parental rights to this child that I'm carrying. And if I don't name somebody else, they're going to know that I am lying.
You really painted yourself into a corner on this one.
It's worse than that. It's worse than that. They're going to think I'm crazy. That I'm vindictive, that I'm unfit to be a mother unless you help me. Edmund, please, don't let me down. You will do this for me. Won't you?
I'm sorry, I can't do it.
I thought I could count on you. I remember every word for word that you said to me at Tom and Livia's on Christmas Eve. You said to me, if I ever needed anything, I could
short
come
of
to
lies,
you.
Brooke.
You said anything, Edmund. And you said all I had to do was let you know. I said I would let you know, and that's what I'm doing you now. I'm letting you know I need you. I need you now more than I have ever needed anyone.
No, Brooke, no.
You're turning me down.
It's not me that you need. It's the lies you want me to tell. And lies beget lies. And you're so caught up in trying to protect yours, you can't even see that none of it adds up. Brooke, think. Let me just say that I testify in court that I could be the father of the child. Now, Tad's going to want to order a paternity test as soon as the baby is born, and so would the court. Now, what would that prove? What would that accomplish? Now, why drag us through all that? Why drag my engagement to Maria through all this?
I need time. Don't you understand that time is the only thing I have on my side? The judge, he already ruled in favor of Tad. He threw out the original custody agreement. And you heard Tad threaten me. The next thing he's going to go for sole legal and physical custody of Jamie and this new baby. And if you don't help me, he will win.
I just think. How is claiming that you committed adultery and conceived a child with me possibly going to help you retain sole possession of Jamie, huh? And everybody knows he's Tad's kid.
This baby can't be his child, okay? It'll just make it that much harder to break away from him. Don't you see? I can't stay here. It's not possible for me to stay in this town. I have 2 children by a man who left me pregnant not once but twice for the same woman. It's just not possible. Don't you understand that? 6,000 miles away. It's not far enough. It's not far enough. Even Hawaii is not far enough.
You're not thinking logically.
You don't understand. You don't. Nobody understands. It took me so long to get to this place. And I gave up a lot along the way. I made it look a lot easier than it was. And I made it look a lot easier than it was, Edmund. But I didn't give up, all right? I didn't give up. I kept going. I had children. I learned to be strong. I learned to be fair. And for what? For what? I have to hold on to what is left. I have to hold on to what is mine and what will always be mine. Edmund, I cannot lose another child. I cannot lose Jamie and this new baby, Edmund. I'll die if I do.
You're not going to lose your children. You're not going to lose them. You got to believe me.
How? Edmund, how?
You've had your guns trained on Erica ever since you hit this town, haven't you, Ken? Kendall Hart is well aware of her mother's legal and personal problems, and that's why she picks this moment, this public moment, to confront her mother with the man who raped her for her birthday present.
If you continue to slander me, I shall sue you.
Be my guest, Fields. Let's go all the way to the Supreme Court, huh? Just you and me. You know every word I'm saying here is the truth.
Miss Hart, how long have you known that Richard Fields is your father?
Erica, my mother, told me soon after I arrived in Pine Valley. Now I feel as if I've known him my entire life. He's wonderful. Richard Fields is a kind and gentle artist who always longed for a child. And now he has one. But Erica never told him about me. She lied about everything.
And what about Erica, Kendall?
Is she guilty?
That's up to the jury to decide.
What do you think?
I think everyone's emotions are kind
Ladies
of
and
wrong.
gentlemen, I think you all realize by now that this is an act. Erica threw Kendall out. She discovered that Kendall was trying to undermine her every move secretly, behind her back. That, and then tried to build this relationship with Richard Fields. That was the straw that broke the camel's back. And Miss Hart here didn't take too kindly to being dumped from the lap of luxury, did you, Kendall? So what you see in front of you today, ladies and gentlemen, is her pathetic attempt at revenge.
Erica is trying to blame stabbing her husband on a rape that never happened. The accused rapist has a right to defend himself.
There is no defense for what he did. Nor is there any defense for a daughter who would do to her mother what Kendall Hart is trying right now to do to Erica Kane.
Jack stayed back there for damage control. He'll take care of that. Don't worry.
You tell them the real story and show those two for what they really are, evil.
So, what do you want to do now?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, let's review the options. We can stay here and ride it out. We could probably beat it out the back way. Or we could go back to the press conference. It's up to you.
Part of me would like to just throw a blanket over my head, stay in a closet for the rest of my life. Part of me would like to go back in there. I'd like to annihilate Richard Fields.
Darling, why would you ever want to confront him again?
Because he's haunted me. He's haunted me for years, Mother, and he will continue to haunt me if I let him.
Whatever you want is okay. Hey, you've gone 2.5 decades without confronting him. There's nothing wrong with walking away from conflict. Sometimes that's the only smart choice.
Alex sounds like he's making a lot of sense.
Oh, I'm not telling her anything she doesn't know. You really are an amazing woman. That was a terrible, terrible thing to go through as a child. But you didn't let it ruin your life. You let it go. With, I'm sure, a lot of help. You turned into one of the most beautiful, charming, and successful women in the world, and you have got a legion of loyal followers who would happily move heaven and earth to help you get through this. And I have suddenly found that I am one of them. So whatever you want, it is okay. We'll be there with you. It's up to you.
Miss Rye, have you had sufficient time to confer with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Logan?
We're prepared, Your Honor.
Very well. Assuming that we've all spent the recess productively examining new information relevant to the best interests of the minor child, James Edward Martin, and his in utero brother or sister, we'll start with Mrs. Martin. Would you like to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor.
Very well. Mrs. Martin, would you please take the stand?
Raise your right hand. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
When court adjourned earlier, you claimed that your husband, Tad Martin, was not the father of the child you're carrying and offered to prove it by bringing the actual father before this bench.
Tad Martin is not my baby's father. My baby's father is an honorable man. A faithful man who keeps his word. And that man is in court today, Your Honor. His name is Edmund Gray.
Let the record show that Mrs. Martin has named Edmund Gray as the father of her unborn child.
Edmund and I have known each other and worked together for almost 2 years, Your Honor. We were engaged at one time. After I married Tad, Edmund and I worked together on a story for Tempo. There was an accident, and Edmund almost drowned at Willow Lake. And that night, we spent most of that night in my aunt's cabin on the lake. I wanted to sleep with him, but I didn't. He almost died, and I realized at that point how much I still cared about him. I wanted to make love to him, but I turned him down. After Willow Lake, Tad was in Canada. and I found out that my husband was cheating on me with Dixie Cooney. And Edmund was very kind and supportive and sympathetic. And that's when we slept together.
Your Honor, may I cross-examine Mrs. Martin?
Yes, Mr. Logan.
Mrs. Martin, just where did this expression of sympathy take place?
It was at Wild Wind.
Were there witnesses?
No, of course not.
So no one can vouch for the truth of what you're saying.
No one but Edmund himself.
And how long did the affair last?
It wasn't an affair. It was just a one night. I was devastated. I had found out that my marriage was over. And I told Edmund how sorry I was that I hadn't made a different decision at Willow Lake. And one thing led to another. And that's when we made love. And that is when this child was conceived.
You're sure?
Yes.
And yet you told both your husband and your mother-in-law, Mrs. Cortlandt, that the night that Mr. Martin left for Canada, you and your husband made love and you did not use any contraception. Is that true?
It's true that I told them that, but I lied.
Oh, you were lying then. Why? Why lie about not using contraception before you committed adultery with Mr. Gurry?
I wanted a baby.
I see. So you were planning to conceive a child with Mr. Gray and pass it off as your husband's.
No, I wanted a child with Edmund, not Tad.
Stop it. Stop it, Brooke. Stop the lying.
This just in. At a press conference in Pine Valley this afternoon, Erica Kane announced she was suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder when she stabbed her husband, Dimitri Marek, last month. Ms. Kane claimed she was raped at the age of 14 by actor Richard Fields, father of her estranged daughter, Kendall Hart. Fields and Hart arrived at the press conference unexpectedly, and we now go live to reporter Eileen Pert in Pine Valley for late-breaking developments.
The public has the right to know the truth about Erica Kane. Just because she is rich and powerful does not give her the right to destroy an innocent man's reputation.
That's right.
Erica didn't name her rapist in her statement, Kendall. So Fields' so-called reputation has been tarnished. You have yourselves to thank for that.
Like my father's name wouldn't come up in court. But Erica doesn't want this case tried in court. She prefers the media. Because the same people who have fawned all over her for years might buy that flimsy post-traumatic stress excuse. But not once you've seen my father in person and you've heard the truth from his lips.
I have no intention of waiting until the trial before challenging these scurrilous remarks.
All right, that's enough. Now, you two have a choice. You can either leave by your own accord, or I will have security escort you out. It's your choice.
Erica's back.
Jack, excuse me. I have something I want to say. This is the man who raped me. I was 14 years old, and he held me down, and he forced himself on me, though I cried.
Do I have to listen to this?
Yes, you do. Shut up.
I begged him to stop, but he laughed. And when he finished, I was pregnant. The shame and the shock of that night have never left me. Though I have tried to forget, I have tried my best to forget. But here they are. They have joined forces against me. They would like to defeat me. But they will not succeed. They will not beat me. Because I am stronger than they are. I have to be. I am Erica Kane.
Your Honor, I apologize for my outburst, but I cannot in good conscience remain silent any longer.
For the record, please identify yourself.
My name is Edmund Gray, and I'd like to make a statement.
Your Honor, I request a 5-minute recess.
It's too late. Let him speak.
Brooke. Objection overruled. In any case, I'd like to get to the bottom of this. Please, take the stand, Mr. Gray.
Raise your right hand. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do. Everything Brooke said about us is right on the money. Except for one thing. I'm not the father of her baby. There's no way I could be. It's biologically impossible. Because Brooke and I haven't slept together since she broke off our engagement. Over a year ago. I'm sorry.
Thank you, Mr. Gray.
There's a law. There's more, Your Honor. There's a lot more. Brooke English is one of the finest, most honorable women I've ever met. She's also a loving mother.
Objection, Your Honor. Mr. Gray has already denied paternity of Mrs. Martin's baby. His further opinion is not only irrelevant, but also prejudicial.
Overruled. Continue, Mr. Gray.
Brooke was leveled when her husband walked out on her. She put everything she had into saving her marriage, and nothing worked. She felt used and abandoned. And why shouldn't she? Because Tad Martin promised to love and be faithful to her until death. And he also swore in writing that he would never seek custody of Jamie. But here we are. Your Honor, Brooke's terrified. She's gonna have her children stolen from her. She's already lost one child to a drunk driver. She doesn't deserve to lose anymore. And that story that she made up about me being the father, well, that's... She's just scared. Please don't hold it against her. Jamie needs his mother, and Brooke needs her children. Please, don't take anything else away from her. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gray.
Your Honor, excuse me. May I please be heard?
Wonderful. He laid out all my options, and he never just pressed me. He never pushed me, never put me in a corner. He said whatever I chose would be right. He never tried to take over. He just gave me respect.
Well, you've earned it.
Well, you gave me the strength to go out there and face that man head on, and for that I am eternally grateful. I will never forget that. Thank you. You were almost as wonderful as Jack.
Oh!
Jack, listen to me. I have made a decision.
I want to press charges against that man for raping me. This whole experience has given me courage. I am not going to let Richard Fields get away with what he did to me, Mother.
Your Honor, my attorney, Mr. Logan, may not approve of my timing or what I am about to say, but I'm going to say it anyway. Before this hearing was scheduled, I had no intention of seeking anything other than liberal visitation with my son. But in light of recent developments, I have serious reservations about Jamie staying in Brooke's care. Sorry. I'd give anything not to have to do this. My wife has used my son as a weapon against me. She's threatened to pick up stakes and move 6,000 miles away, which would effectively wipe out all contact with Jamie. Now she stood up in the court of law and she has lied about the paternity of our unborn child. Your Honor, it hurts me to have to say this, but if Jamie has to be with one or the other of us, I'd like to petition the court for full physical and legal custody of James Edward Martin, effective immediately.
No! 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 You can't let him do that! No!
Someday the tricks begin when kids start disappearing on Lois and Clark, The Adventures of Superman.